E-Magazine presents the events surrounding the Dessalines assassination plot of 1806. This is the first time, I believe, an official transcript from the coup leaders that depicts the assassination is being presented to the public. The coup leaders actually published an excerpt of the preparations before and after the assassination. It started from the 15th and ended on the 17th of October 1806. A horrible attempt was to be made in the southern part of this island. Thousands of victims were to be sacrificed to the suspicion, or rather ferocity, of Dessalines. General Marcon, Marcon, and Stephen Mentor were to be the executioners of the most sanguinary orders against the district of Okai. So those two guys, General Marcon and Stephen Mentor, were working for Dessalines. They were planning the most sanguinary orders from Dessalines against the district of Okai. Already, they were busy about the means of putting their schemes into operation when they were both arrested by the brave Colonel Wagnac, W-A-G-N-A-C, a mulatto colonel, arrested those two. Whereupon the inhabitants of Okai rose in a body and swore to conquer or die. So they get the people of Okai to rise up. Gérin, one of the conspirators, so that's the second name, Gérin. Colonel Wagnac was first, the first name that they actually put out there. The second name is Gérin, the Minister of War. The Generals Ferron, F-E-R-O-N, conspirators, and Vaval, conspirators, and the Colonels Francique and Bruni Lalanne, those were conspirators, also joined on the part of the patriots. Now they call the people who rise up against Dessalines patriots. Having made his disposition, so he made up his mind, Gérin, the minister left en Savoie with the 15th and 16th half brigades and advanced to the bridge of Miraguan. So Gérin got the 15th and 16th brigade of the indigenous army. They were also involved in the assassination plot of Dessalines. The next morning, they held a conference with General Yayu. Here is another conspirator, Yayu, General Yayu, who was encamped at Petit Goave. And finding the latter well disposed to act in cooperation, they settled all points but deferred proceeding farther until the arrival of General Pétion, another conspirator. General Magloire-Ambroise, conspirator, and Colonel Omer, another conspirator, though the first, Magloire-Ambroise, fell ill, yet displayed the same patriotic zeal. So they were all in it. On the 15th of October, General Pétion arrived at Petit Goave, where he was received in the manner he deserved by the troops. Both divisions marched to Grand Goave, where they found General Germain, another conspirator, who, though he feigned to join our party, was yet soon known to be a turncoat. So Germain, who actually sympathized with the movement, was proven to be for Dessalines. At night, we passed through Léogane. The next morning marched with the 11th, 12th, 15th, 16th, 21st, and 24th half brigades. All of those half brigades were involved in the Dessalines assassination plot. And 3 companies of dragoons, So even dragoons were into it. They were marching to Port-au-Prince, which place they were a master of, at 4 in the morning. So the 11th, the 12th, the 15th, the 16th, 21st, and 24th Half Brigades were involved in the assassination plot, plus 3 companies of dragoons. Once they arrived in Port-au-Prince by 4 o'clock in the morning, they were master of the place. They captured Port-au-Prince. Dessalines didn't know that. General Germain, becoming more and more suspected, he was arrested at nightfall, 10 p.m. So these guys, they suspect that General was against them, was probably going to denounce them, so they moved in and arrested him at 10 p.m. A traveler informed us, the conspirators, that Dessalines' vanguard, or cortege, was approaching us, and Dessalines, in fact, came by himself without suspicion. So Dessalines didn't know anything. At the instigation of General Yayu, the soldiers and islanders of the plains of Coup-d'Etat stated the urgency of putting Dessalines and Germain to death in order to preserve freedom. Dessalines, being entirely ignorant of all these facts and not knowing of our having possession of Port-au-Prince, continued his route in the most perfect security. At 8 in the morning, he was in the outer post of our camp, without suspecting it. Only in the moment when he was to be arrested, he conceived his error, and then tried to make his escape. Dessalines received the mortal blow which put an end to his life and crimes. Colonel Marcadieu was killed. Charlotin Marcadieu was a colonel. He was no simple soldier. Was in the company of Dessalines. He was killed, though much regretted, in defending Dessalines. On the side of the enemy, some were wounded, and on our side, but one man was killed. Only one person was killed on the conspirator side. Done at the headquarters in Port-au-Prince, the 18th October 1806. Signed, Etienne Gérin, Haiti's Minister of War and the Navy.